Hello, welcome to Daniel Glyn Questionable. My name is Daniel Glyn and I will be questionable for the next half hour. What would a talk show be without guests? Well, it would be a monologue with just me talking, which is what my original pitch was, but they were having none of it. And so I've got a guest here, comedian Elvis impersonator, all the way from Barry, although he lives in Cardiff now. Mike Bubbins. Hi, Mike. Welcome to Mike Bubbins. Hi, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Very welcome.
Now then, Mike, first of all, I did point out there, you're a Barry boy, aren't you?
Originally Barry, born and bred, yeah.
Yeah, what was it like? Because obviously, I didn't venture that much to Barry when I was younger. What's it like growing up in Barry?
Well, you've got nothing to compare it to, have you? I thought it was wonderful. It was like a dream world.
Yeah?
Like a paradise on the Bristol Channel.
Because I know I used to have friends in Barry, and what my mum and dad used to say is, I will drop you off at the end of the road and you can walk up to their house. And they would always live on the top of a hill like that.
Barry's like one massive hill, isn't it?
Yeah?
It wasn't Mum and Dad's house because they live on top of a big hill in Barry.
No. I didn't know you until we met tonight.
Somerset Road.
That's what's nice about doing a show on Made in Cardiff as well, is we can actually be quite road specific as well.
That's
we
good,
live on
yeah,
Somerset Road,
yeah. Not to be confused with, I know you're thinking, do you mean Somerset Road East? No, I don't. I mean Somerset Road.
That's what it was, yeah. Now then, growing up in Barry,
yep.
I know that you ended up being a PE teacher.
Yeah, eventually, well, quite a circuitous route, but yeah, eventually.
So what happened in Barry that led you to that?
Well, I loved sport when I was at school. Mum was a PE teacher. Didn't really know what I wanted to do in my life. So bummed around for about 6-7 years. Ended up coming back to Cardiff, did my teacher training. Became a teacher. 10 years.
So did you leave? I read that you left school without qualifications.
That is an absolute lie, Daniel.
Is it?
And I will take people to court for saying that. I left without AA levels. There's a big difference. I got GCSEs.
Okay. Ah, right, okay.
Got GCSEs.
They would have been O levels, surely, then those.
First year GCSE, thank you very much, 1988.
Ah,
First year GCSEs. Yeah. So they were undervalued, really.
Yeah.
You couldn't fail them in the first year, could you?
No, because they wanted everyone to
massive
pass.
Experiment, yeah. And then when it went back to like proper exams 2 years later, I failed everything. Cheers for putting that on telly.
It is.
Cheers, mate.
Well, that's because I was thinking, why did he become a PE teacher? And I saw he failed his exams.
Yeah, that is the exact reason.
It's because those who can't teach and those who can't teach become PE teachers, isn't it?
You got it right, yeah. I remember talking to my careers teacher when I was like 16. So what do you want to do? I said, I want to teach PE. He said, there's no future in teaching. And this was like proper 80s, you know, like teacher strikes over the top. He said, oh, don't bother with teaching, it's a waste of time. Like, this is the careers teacher. I said, are you sure? So he said, oh, absolute waste of time, the mugs game. Don't do it. And then I didn't know what to do then.
So, but he didn't give you any advice?
No, just don't do that.
Don't
do that. Yeah.
So you decided to train here in Cardiff, did you?
I did my degree in Cardiff, yeah. Yain Emms' sister, who's no longer with us, she was my interviewer. Because I failed my A-levels, I had to wait till I was sort of 21 to apply, mature student. I was 22 when I went in. And I'd just come back from Canada playing rugby. And we had a few mutual friends, and we chatted about rugby for a while. And she literally, all she said to me at the interview for UWIC was, if you come to UWIC to do your degree, you play for UWIC, rugby. I said, that's okay. She said, you prepared to sign the forms and say that you'll play for college? I said, yeah, of course. Sure, you're in there. And that was it. I mean, I just on the proviso that I played rugby for the college. Yeah. I had the place. I played decent level of rugby. I was on Welsh schools, Welsh youth when I was 18. I used to get sent off a lot, and that didn't. You know.
Why would you get sent off?
I got a really short fuse then.
Have you?
I remember I was at the Welsh schools up in Chepstow when I was 18. It was like Scott Quinnell, Wayne Proctor. That was that squad. We were supposed to go out to New Zealand, and they ended up going to New Zealand and winning every game. The only Welsh team to ever do it, right, at 18 years of age. We had a PE teacher, Offie Scott, Mal Scott, who I must have been his life hell for years. Mal Scott had said to me, oh, listen, keep a cool head now for 3 days, right? Just 3 days, right? I said, yeah, all right, sir, no problem. So Friday went well at the National Stadium. Saturday went to Chepstow, the Army Barracks, went well. Sunday, all good. So you're virtually on the plane by this point, right? We had a game of touch rugby, the last thing on the Sunday. And another chap called Stuart Jenkins, I think, from Mumbles, another flanker. Sort of sidestepped me and went past me. I chased him. I was going to catch him because I was quicker than him. He just sort of turned around his shoulder. Come on, man. Oh, God. Red mist. Kicked him. Just started punching him. And then they just dragged me off the pitch and they took me up. And they had to phone up Mal Scott to come and pick me up from Chepstow, like 2 hours early. Right? I just sit there, just waiting for my PE teacher to come and get me from Chepstow. And he's good mates with my dad. They played in the same rugby team in the 60s and the 70s. She picked me up and said, what happened? I said, What's my temper, sir? And he went and talked to the coaches, came back in the car, and you could blank this out, right? He just said, he sat next to me and said, "Well, you fucked that up." So that was it. I didn't go to New Zealand. They won every game, probably because I wasn't there, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was it. And then but so I played in college. I played for Uwick, and then went to Canada playing and coaching. I was mates with Gary. John had been one of my PE teachers when he was doing his teacher training at Barry Boys, and he got me. I ended up going to Toronto, playing and coaching a team called the Toronto Welsh. It was great fun. Wouldn't change it.
I've seen photos of you from those days, and you're just like this Greek god.
I was buff,
Adonis,
yeah.
It's quite scary. I didn't recognise you, actually. I remember you putting a picture up somewhere, and
people think I photoshopped the head on. Can I just? That sounds awful, by the way, that I just put this photograph up somewhere of me.
No, it will.
15 years ago.
But that's exactly what you did do.
Yes, I didn't do that. You haven't got to say it, have you?
No,
but that is what I did. I was in good shape. Yeah. When I met my wife, I was in that shape.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously not in that shape now. When we were talking about this, I've lost a bit, but I went up to 19 stone when I stopped playing.
That's good work, Alice.
Yeah,
I'm impressed. I'm more impressed with that than the rugby.
I said, Kelly, the problem is when I met you, I was in the market then, wasn't I? You know what it's like. You're out there trying to chase girls and do your thing on that age in your 20s and whatever. I said, you don't realise if you and I split up, I'd be buff in like 6 weeks. And she said to me, "Get lost then, and I'll see you in 6 weeks."
She meant it as well,
she
didn't
did,
she? Yeah. Now then, I was aware of you, once again, this being a Cardiff show, I was aware of you walking down the street.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Near to where I live,
Which
yeah?
is near to where I live.
Near to where I live, yeah. And
not far from here, actually.
not far from here at all, just around the corner. And in Canton, Canton, Victoria Park, cusp.
Come
on the cusp. And
West Pontcanna.
I could see, it was obvious there straight away that you're an Elvis fan.
Yeah.
It's obvious straight away, but I didn't realise that not only an Elvis fan, Elvis impersonator. Once again,
don't like that phrase, Dan.
What are they, Elvis lookalikes?
That's worse.
Right, okay. Is this racist against Elvis?
That's nasty, that.
Lookalikes,
soundalikes. An Elvis tribute act.
Tribute act,
right,
okay.
You're not trying to be Elvis, you're paying tribute to Elvis.
Ah, right, I see. Were you an Elvis fan growing up?
Yeah, huge.
Yeah?
Yeah, from a young age, yeah.
Is that from your dad or from your mum?
Not really. I used to sing after rugby and, we started to sing a bit of Tom Jones and a bit of Elvis. And so from there, 14, 15, and then I bought like a Reader's Digest, 6 albums, 6 volume albums, and just played them to death, like 15, 16 years of age. And that was it then. From then, I went to the Greystone when I was 19, and just loved Elvis ever since then. So
how did you become, I'll get it right now, how did you become an Elvis tribute act? Is act okay?
Yeah, artist, act.
Artist, okay, fine, artist, yeah. Elvis tribute artist, how did that happen?
Well, I used to sing anyway. When I stopped playing rugby, when I had the massive weight gain and stopped playing, I would, on a Saturday, I did an open mic, like a singing night though, in this rough club in Clace in Swansea with my wife. And this agent approached me, a guy called Bill O'Callaghan. So
you've been singing an Elvis song?
I sang an Elvis song like on a Monday night in this sort of working men's club in Clace. And this bloke came up to me with the white tux on, the black shirt, all the gear, right? Bill O'Callaghan. And he said, I was at the bar, he went, "Who's your agent then, kid?" I said, "I haven't got an agent." He went, "Do you want to sign with me?" I said, "I don't know, what's the deal?" He went, "I'm not going to lie to you, right, kid? I won't lie to you. The arse has won out of this business. 15, 20 years ago, I could have made you a decent living, but now there's no one in the clubs. They're dying. The one for the raffle will be no one there. But, if you stick with me, I'll get you like 2 or 3 gigs a week, and you have enough money to buy a couple of pints on Saturday night." Sign me up, Bill. Sign me up. So I signed with Bill. Did like a year just singing in the clubs, but I didn't dress up. And then when I started doing comedy, and I wrote a thing about an Elvis tribute act, so I wanted to go and see what it was like for real, So I bought a jumpsuit off this bloke in Caerphilly, went to my first Porthcawl festival, and then started doing it just once a year, just Porthcawl. And then last year, friends of mine were going up to Birmingham for the European Elvis Championships in the Hilton up there, right, for a weekend. It's really nice. It's a really nice weekend. And I went up there just to have a look at it and to take part and see what happened. And then I got to the final of that, which is a bit weird. If you did like a 70s set, but in a 60s outfit, then you'd upset people, right? And if you did a 50s song and a 70s outfit, the same thing, you know. So there's a lot of that sort of thing. A lot of people are quite finicky about it. There's a bit of that, and there's a bit of that people think you're taking the mick. There's a lot of people. You got a Porthcawl, you know, there's 30,000 people down there this year.
That's what I was going to say. Porthcawl, not everybody realises this. Porthcawl is like
the world's biggest Elvis festival, according to their website. No, there were 35,000 people there this year. It's massive down there.
I've heard tribute act names. It's an Asian one called Elvis. Is that true? Is that true?
There's also a guy called Peter Singh, the Rockin' Sikh.
Right.
Yeah.
What else are there? There's
some are very inventive, right? There's a few. There's a Lee King.
As in the King.
There's a Mark King.
Right.
Paul King. A lot of kings. And you've got things like, you've got Elvis. You've got a mate of mine who now changed his name to Nathan, back to Nathan, but for years was just Ponty Presley. I thought it was a great one.
Yeah.
There's a bloke called Paul Shook Up.
Paul.
Which I think
that's my favourite.
Yeah.
That's my
I have nicked that name for a script, but I mean that's too good to leave there, isn't it? Paul Shook Up. When you see a grown man going, boys, anyone seen a sideburn? I'm missing a right sideburn. Right, and there's like a ball chap in there with one sideburn on, you know. And they open their boxes checking if they got the side. As much someone picked up 3 sideburns by mistake, you know. Yeah. I personally think that should be illegal. I mean, sideburns, right?
Well, grow them or get off.
I can understand the bald lads having a wig, but
sideburns
they don't recede, do they? Sideburns don't recede, is the point.
That's true. Well, you've touched on your comedy.
I have.
We're going to have a chat with that. We're going to take a short break.
Lovely.
Come back, and I promise you we'll definitely still be here, won't we? Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Bubbins for now, though. Thank you very much.